rock talk. Metaphysical, we deal with the spiritual. Rock talk, listen to rock talk. I think El-Bey dropping jewels every day. Rock talk, listen to rock talk. Metaphysical, we deal with the spiritual. So you claim to be a god? Damn right I'm a god. The maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, the civilized nation, God of the universe. Wow, I didn't know that.
Thanks, y'all.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that.
We also got a microphone.
Wow.
We heard you, so hopefully y'all be able to hear us.
All strategies apply mathematically. The information you drop is real powerful. So get your notepad, it's more than an hour full. Watch your jaw, the crew with what you saw. Indigenous to the land wherever we free. First world order, we bringing it home in the first quarter. Invisible lines don't apply across borders. Silly rabbit, knowledge for God. No matter where you reside, lies people of minds. So don't fret or perceive with hesitation. Just tune into Blog Talk to get the information.
Peace.
Peace to the gods. You already know, man.
Peace to the gods and the goddesses.
Can y'all hear us? I want to make sure y'all can hear us.
My identity.
I feel like him steps. Architect like M.O. Step. Son had to sign himself to God. Daddy with the art. I feel dark. With a split heart. You can feel it in your bone marrow before the shit starts. Standing in the cold with a scroll that was written in gold. Behold the old glimpse that was never untold. Incident like the hate that dwelling in your melon. No felon, those are unrighteous men and I'm rebellious. I'm primal. My mom to the night. I worship no idols. I'm salad over jokes going down in the spiral. You stuck in your roof. My intelligence has my proof. God is the truth. Every time I step in the booth, steps on the stoop, got spooked and swooped in my loop. Do the knowledge where I receive, get played like blue. And with the sun of a song, get from the God's roof, flying through the sky with
Golden wings
submerged into the light. 95 golden kings, 50 scepters of justice. Melanin cultivating cheers till we are the very and finally becoming fun. With the rising sun, so long,
Souls of raw.
magnificent flow, unconditional love, scattered rays, the days from
from the heavens above.
soul to soul, show, trapped in the lowest
Depths of hell.
Causing 76 trillion. Break free, you must be defined masculine and feminine properties combined. The devil's form of confusion, 180,000 religions exist. Denominations have close people's systems. So it's never in the Bible that you spoke in parables. The scriptures of God come on just historical. Many passages want to be taken literal. Most of it is allegorical based on esoteric principles that include remedies. About the word of God, the hope of the all the verses, 7 day advances.
It's name and gnostics.
Divine group, the captain of the reptilians. So beware what your Cody and Satan is. So they ain't true, Christian or true beings don't ignorate. So we question the hidden Leviathan. Battle mind control, systems, rejection, brain crushing indoctrination, using religion, politics, application, economic health, labor, entertainment and war, sex and law, in this chessboard game, collective war of their pawns, public or streams controlled by demonic spawn. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God.
Peace, peace, peace. And as my wife say, Happy European New Year. All right, because you know our New Year is actually March the 21st.
When everything's all pretty.
Exactly, when it's coming into bloom and blossoming. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into tonight's discussion, which is going to be our review of 2016, because this shit here was rough. All right, so before we get in, I'm going to bring on my co-host, Brother Fahim Mel. Are you here, brother?
Brother, how I tell you, watch your Ta'ish.
Hey, how I tell you, watch your Ta'ish. How you doing tonight, Doc?
Doing well, God. How y'all doing? God is doing.
Oh, we doing good. We doing good. How you tonight?
All right.
How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Got a lot of noise around my apartment complex. You know, the European or whatever.
Right,
New Year's coming in.
right. Well, you know how that is. You know, shoot, you lucky you ain't down here in the South. You be hearing some gun clapping at 12 for real. They love to be shooting off them guns at that time.
Oh yeah.
All right. So basically, Brother L, we're gonna get into our recap on 2016. And you know, some of the things in which that took place. We know that we had the tragic deaths of Dr. Deborah Blair, as well as also Dr. Francis Quest Welsen, which began at the beginning of this year. And those was devastating for a lot of us in the so-called conscious community. You know, and hard to believe what is taking place now. You know what I mean? Because the things that we see right now, you know, is a bunch of foolishness, you know, and no substance, but yet people getting caught up into these things, yet it produces no substance. Has nothing in which that, you know, anybody with any intelligence or anyone who's seeking real spirituality don't have anything in which that they can gain from that is taking place right now in the so-called conscious community. So we wanted to recap first with the deaths of, you know, as we would say, of Dr. Francis Quest Welsen, as well as also the death of Dr. Deborah Blair, which these occurred within January and February of this past year. And then, of course, we come down and we have Dr. Sebi, you know, one of the most renowned herbalists and natural healers of our day. And, you know, possibly within history, you know, as he was able to cure many of the moderate illnesses, which was allegedly uncurable. But yet he was able to do it, you know. So, you know, them three in particular we want to talk about. So I'm going to start first with Dr. Deborah Blair. I've known Dr. Deborah Blair for over 20 years, all right, before he passed this year. And we talk about 20 years of information, you know, that I was just privileged to. But he was able to put out information, as he said, after he met these two individuals who were dark from the planet Jupiter. All right. And he spoke about that information several times. All right. He spoke about that several times in some lectures, you know. So that was amazing that he stated that he actually had encounters with what we refer to as extraterrestrials, and that they was dark, you know, black, you know, as they would say. Now, that's not just something in which that is coincidental, because there's a European guy right now on YouTube who is a NASA advisor, and he's a scientist who have stated similar information. I believe his name is Bertram, and he stated specifically that there were UFOs, or a UFO that came from Saturn. And he said that they, from the rings of Saturn, and he actually wrote a book, I believe it was called The Ring of Saturn. And he stated that that based on the information, that when they got off the ship, they was more than 7 feet tall, and they was black. Now, the lady said, oh, you mean that they was brown skin, they was dark skin? He said, no, black. So what he means by that, obviously, right, like the cap. So that means that they would be the ones who was, you know, being that we brown, you know, and we say that we're Moors, you know, but he said that they was black. So of course we know what he means in terms of, you know, of this right here, you know, if I'm pointing to my cat, that he was this black, or black, you know, like the stripes in my shirt, you know. So that was amazing within itself that he would state such a thing. And then we have information, allegedly of a ship. And Brother Hakeem El-Bey break this down, but Dr. W. Blair spoke about this also, about a ship in which that crashed on the moon. All right. And this crashing on the moon, this ship dated back to 1.5 billion years. That's 1.5 billion years with a B, not an M, a B. 1.5 billion years. And this sister that was manning the ship, she had an apparatus around her face in which that pointed up specifically towards the third eye area. And within it, there was some type of, they said some type of metallic instrument in which that was able to control or man
the ship telepathically.
Telepathically. Exactly.
Switch, baby,
all right. So, that's what, that's what we, get here. All right, let me get on over here.
Because I want to chat with y'all. I need to be able to chat with y'all.
Got to be able to chit chat.
That's what I do.
All right. So we want to talk about Dr. W. Blair because he put in, nearly 50 years of metaphysical research, esoterical teachings, and alien and extraterrestrial investigation. And the fact that he had his own experiences, makes these things more believable. If y'all understand what I'm saying, he spoke about the fact that he felt that his wife was killed or murdered. Of course, soon after his son also died, which I knew his son, from out of Atlanta. And so, these things are something in which that he was able to, and the last time I met him actually was at a lecture or speaking engagement my wife and I was at. It was in Greensboro. It was about maybe 4 years ago or so. And he went over a lot of good information, even taught meditation techniques, which oftentimes he never even get to in most lectures, or you'll never see that type of information that he delved into. But in this particular case, he did. All right. And so we got a chance to go over some breathing techniques and exercises, and they was powerful. So Dr. W. Blair was definitely, on another level. Allegedly, he died of cancer. We know that he had a bout with cancer a few months right before he actually was in the hospital. And I remember a brother giving me a call saying that I need to call Dr. W. Blair, and he gave me the number, his number, if I can call him, and I called him. And, we ain't get a chance to talk real long, because, doctors and nurses in and out, but we was able to get a chance in order to deal with, what was taking place with him, and, it was dealing with cancer. But I mean, it's disappointment, it's frustration. We know that cancer has a tendency, when you have an overabundance of negative emotions within you, that's what manifests, because there's a chemical response for every thought that you have. There's a chemical response.
True. Also, what was deep too, y'all, hardly nobody was in the meditation class with Dr. Deborah Blair. It was like it was packed initially, and then going towards the end, people wasn't interested in dealing with the meditation and the aspects of things. And my question is, why is that? Because we all understand that it's going to make us more powerful. So we understand the kinetic vibration of grabbing the sun with your hands, because you see the sun grabbing back your hands. We understand. We got all these movies. We just got finished watching Stranger Things Have Happened. Y'all all seen Doctor Strange. Hopefully, if y'all haven't seen the review of that from both of our the God and I, then you should go check it out. You should also go check out the movie too. So we seeing all these abilities that we have, but our people wasn't interested in the meditation part.
But people believe that that's spookism. But think about it. You breathe within a 24-hour span, 25,000 times. All right? You breathe more than 25,000 times within a 24-hour period. That's inhalation and exhalation. And you don't believe that you have the ability to do more with your breath because it's the tie between your physical body and your mind. All right? That's the tie. Matter of fact, your breath is the mind in action. I'm going to say that shit again. Your breath is the mind in action. All right? So if you want to change your mindset, learn how to breathe. But that's a hard thing. For most people, they don't want to change their mindset. They want to continue being mundane and dwell in the lower self.
Because it's entertaining. You know what I mean? Or is it?
You know, well, with me, they rather, put their energy off on something that they believe that came forth 2,000 years ago.
Or is it because they're being programmed to be on that level? And then when it's time to raise that vibration, it's a fear.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. We know that the word fear means what? False evidence appearing real. It's an acronym. And fear has a tendency of lodging itself in the liver, in the kidneys, anger within the liver, rejection within the genitalia, stress within the brain, disappointment within the lungs, hatred within the heart. So if you're exhibiting these negative emotions, then that means that you're doing damage because, once again, there's a chemical response that takes place within your physical anatomy every time you produce a thought. Why? Because thoughts are things. All right? Now, most people don't believe that. But yet, they can't account for why their life is so shitty. Maybe because you need to change your thoughts. If you start having more positive thoughts, then what would take place? More positive things would take place. Why? Because you're negating the negativity that is in your mind that have been built up as negative debris or bioplasmic energy within your auric field, as well as also that's within society or the environment. That's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. So Dr. Deborah Blair, Grandmaster teacher, dedicated 50 years of his life to teaching this information. He said that when he met these Jupiter beings, that this happened in the 1950s. So he dedicated more than 50 years to getting this information out to our people. And it behooves us to go back and pay attention and listen and watch his videotapes and his audio tapes from Blog Talk Radio and different other radio shows that he did over the years. And keep his memory alive. He's one of the living ancestors. He's one of the living ancestors. Memory alive, for real.
So make sure he's on your altars.
Right. Get a picture of him from offline and put him on your altars. Now, how do you make an altar? Real simple. Get you a white cloth. Get 2 candles, preferably white, because white repels negativity, negative energy. All right. Get incense. Get some sage. It can be sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh. All right, these are the 4 in which that specifically destroys negativity in your environment and cleanse your room, as it also cleanses, any negative energy around your altar.
So you want to have at least all 5 elements.
Right.
You also want pictures from your ancestors.
Right. So you need earth, air, water, fire, and what? Which all 4 combine to make ether. All right, so the air is your positive affirmations, your decrees. All right, that is your prayers that you would give forth. All right, and some use the book of Psalms. My wife and I wrote a book called Divine Hymns of Igniting, the Living Powers of the Psalms. People need that book because it helps you go into understanding, understanding your altars and what you need for your altars and how to set your altars up. All right. So you can also get some coins. It can be pennies, silver, as far as earth is concerned, because that symbolizes earth. It can be your stones, your crystals, the gems. All right. As a matter of fact, my wife wrote a book.
Provide people. Oh.
As you see, here we go.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they are in our room.
Right.
And what we do is we put energy into them because people get them from us. Y'all get them from us.
Go over some of them.
So, y'all already know what rose quartz does. So, this is a rose quartz. Y'all already know that's for the heart, So if you're trying to heal your heart, if you're trying to help heal somebody else's heart, or put love around the world, anything dealing with matters of emotion or love, you want to use rose quartz. As y'all already know, I love labradorite. Matter of fact, no, that's not labradorite. This is red tourmaline. A lot of people know black tourmaline, but red tourmaline is powerful too. It also helps with stability, but it also helps with strengthening passionate energy. It also helps with to stop stagnation of procrastination. So this is a red tourmaline. It's so pretty, powerful. What else do we have? Oh, this is garnet, raw garnet. Yep. This also helps to balance the throat chakra along with the heart chakra. It's raw, so it's powerful. As a matter of fact, the raw stones are more powerful because they haven't been processed like, food.
Right, polished.
Right.
And this also is going to be my wife's new book that's going to be coming out, which is going to be based on these crystals, gems, precious stones, and minerals. Continue on. Yeah, let's get into some more of that.
Also, too,
because y'all need to know this information. Y'all need to know what these gems, crystals, and precious stones and minerals are used for, and what they can do for you. Because there's a metaphysical purpose, an esoteric purpose behind these, an occultic purpose behind these gems. Why you think that the daggone 12 Israel, that the 12 tribes of Israel, wore a breastplate of 12 stones? Yeah, well, that was the Bible. That's some old shit. That's what y'all be saying, but that's good. But there's still knowledge and information in the Bible. You can bypass some things because some of that shit is traditions and it's outdated. However, principles such as those 12 stones that is mentioned in the Old Testament in the book of Leviticus and mentioned in the book of Revelation, oh no, you can't bypass that. You can't bypass that. All right? You can't. You got to be able to do something with that. Because that knowledge is valuable. Going to be going over some of that information. She'll be going over that information in this book right here. You know what I'm saying? That she wrote some years ago, but we're gonna put this out. All right. So
now if you want to tap, this is an Apache tier. It actually has a tier within it. And if you want to tap into the indigenous fight for the water rights, then this is a really good vibration. Very powerful. This is a smoky quartz. It helps to bring clarity. Y'all can sort of see that it has like a little smoke vibration to it. A lot of people don't know about tiger's eyes, also called hawk eye. It's really good for cleansing the throat chakra, helping with expression. It's really pretty too. It looks like a tiger's eye, except it's blue. So you can see the bands from the copper, and it is really pretty. This right here is called jet. Isn't it beautiful? It is so beautiful. It helps with stability. It's a dominant energy. So it helps also with swaying people to agree with you and to feel your vibration. This is the infamous lapis lazuli, really good with court matters. It also helps with expression. It has like specks of gold in it.
And
So
this was called the Pharaoh stone, for those that don't know. This is what the pharaohs and the high priests utilized, was the labradorite. All right, this was a very powerful stone to them. All right, my wife just broke it down because it had flakes of gold in it. All right.
So that's what you would have. You would have, this is right here is recognized as earth on your altar, as y'all already know.
Right.
But it's one of the elements. Some people also sleep with them under their bed or under their pillow, or have them in their purse or their pocket, or make pendants out of them and wear them as jewelry, as y'all already know. You know, but the reason being is because these vibrations manifest things in your life that may be lacking or that you be trying to invoke. You know, so it's very important for us to be tapping into the earthly realm. It's very important for us to be tapping into our magic. You know, it's a difference between listening to your spirit, being in the right place at the right time, versus acting like you just a physical being, you know, and you can just, you know, do whatever. So going into 2017, this European New Year, let's strive for more spirituality. You know, let's strive for more change. Let's strive for listening to our spirit. You know, when your spirit be like, you know, take that pen with you. You know, and you be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. But then when you get downstairs, you need the pen. So you gotta come back up and get it. So let's strive for listening to that intuition, and so it's strengthening. If you're already doing it, then take it to the next level. You know, teach it to other people. You know, make sure you're incorporating this wisdom to children, because you know they're the ones that need it. You know, I wish I would have known a lot of this information when I was younger.
Well, she got it, you know, in her early 20s. So that was young enough. I got it at 19, even though I was already studying for 5 years before that. I was studying at 14. You know, actually, I read the joint at 12, which was the autobiography of Malcolm X. And from the age of 9, after I had my experience with the UFO, and that's the reason why I had to talk, you know, why I had to listen to Dr. Deborah Blair, because I also had the experience. I was 9 years old living in Coney Island in Brooklyn, and a UFO hovered over top of my head about 150 yards, about 100 to 150 yards over top of my head to the right. And the lights that was going in and around it was in a chakra color. It was in chakras. All right. So it was Roy G. Biv: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. All right. And these colors, as it was going around it, you know, or as it was flashing around it, that caught my attention. And being that the craft was so close, I actually was able to see the beings that was in it. All right. Now, I had a reading that was just done less than a month ago. All right. And the sister told me that in the 1980s, I was taken.
Which she didn't know that this had happened.
Right.
I wish she wasn't so shy, because this sister is good. What she does is she calls in all the ancestors that, you know, are in your bloodline. And then it's a beautiful thing. They do a candle. She does a candle. He does a candle. It's in a bowl. And then they light it together and do a prayer for protection and for strength and wisdom. Right. And then she calls in your ancestors. So she called in Alim's ancestors, and they was dropping. As a matter of fact, they told us that all this foolishness was going on in the conscious community. And Alim's uncle Willie told him not to get in it. Right. You know,
so people was trying to bait me. That happened, right. People was trying to bait me to get up in this thing, and I'm like, look, I got more important things to be concerned about. You know, like 2016 was an ass kicker for a lot of people. You know, and we really felt that there was a lot of negative energy in which that was put out, a lot of propaganda in which that contributed to it. You know, and the fact that Cosmo, you know, they talked about this dude Cosmo, who was down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right before they flooded it now. You know, he started off that gun shooting, you know, and supposedly killed the cops. In particular, one was a brother who had a 2-year-old son by the name of Brother Jackson. All right. And the Empress told us specifically that the Jacksons were part of the bloodline of the Empress, or part of the Tunica and Washita bloodline. All right, which is the Native American tribes in which they're now, you know, called the Biloxi, you know, Biloxi Moors, as we say, as well as also the Choctaw. You know, so we wanted to talk about that because they mentioned our names on the news.
United Washita. Now, what was deep was the Caucasian was like, United Washita, them people are loving people. I was like, go ahead. And then the brother was like on CNN, he was like, with all the other websites the dude was going to.
And the guy was being interviewed by Don Lemons.
Yeah, that's what Don Lemons said. Well, coupled with the United Washita and the other websites that he was going to, that's a recipe for disaster. And he was like, okay, well, yeah, you know, I wish we had got that clip. But nonetheless, we didn't tell that brother to do that. As a matter of fact, he emailed us and was like, y'all, whatever I'm about to do, nobody instructed me to do this. And I was like, brother, don't lose your mind now.
Right.
You know, a lot of this stuff is
right. I told
a lot of
him
this stuff is false flag, you know, and I sent him a video, but he had sent us a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was taking care of my 94-year-old grandmother, which I am so grateful for, because when I went into my email was going crazy. The mouse was all over the place. CNN called us, Fox, everybody was calling us like crazy. Our website went from 10,000 views a day to 50,000. I was like, what in the world? So we were sitting back like, because we ain't do that. You see what I'm saying? We ain't tell that boy to do that. That was not our life mission. That was his life mission because he killed himself on his birthday.
Right. But they come to find out that he had PTSD,
post-traumatic stress
syndrome.
But see, also too, now that's what happened in 2016.
Or disorder, as they say.
Now y'all know that stuff gonna come back around. You know what I mean? That's how the Caucasian do. So that was in June when they shot up Texas, which they blamed Professor Griff. And then in July,
that was Micah Johnson who did the shooting there. Mm-hmm. And because they found the photograph of Professor Griff with him, you know, and Professor Griff had to come out and say,
like, I take pictures with everybody.
Right, take pictures with everyone. I don't know him personally like that.
Yeah.
You know, some say, well, you know, he was a punk for not standing by him and all. Look, come on. If dude didn't know him, he didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? Just like I never met Cosmo personally. I talked to him on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I think it was
well, you know what? When they went through the emails, I was going through them too. I was like, oh my God, let me make sure we said, you know, what I said. You see what I'm saying? Because we might have to repeat it. But what I was saying was, well, brother, you know, come to class. You know, right. So he wasn't coming to class and stuff like that.
They didn't want to come to class, but you know.
Well, that's what happened. That's just what happened.
Right.
So then in July, 17th. It was his birthday, the 18th, that 18th, Sunday,
17th, yeah.
Which was deep because the false flag people was like, oh, they calling for crisis actors. Something gonna happen the weekend of July,
right?
And I be if it didn't,
right?
So but then he kills himself on that day.
But y'all can go back and listen to our interview because my wife actually say this on the radio show,
yeah,
the week before,
yeah.
So we already peeped game.
The world did.
Right.
And then so to make that clear. And then what else, God? Oh yeah, so then they started naming all the conscious communities. So they said United Washita, which they didn't say no more. And then you just started seeing people like stabbing each other in the back.
But they did say Washita. And they did say Washita, and they did go and interview Joe, and Joe gave a statement in which they stated, yo, we don't even know this guy. You know, we don't know who he is. And then even Umar El-Bey came out and did a few videos. Now he was trying to you know, throw some shade. But the thing was that look,
that's what people do. You see what I'm saying? But what I also want to get the point out is they also named other groups. They just was going down the line. They was talking about Nation of Islam, which Farrakhan came out and spoke. I think they named like 8 groups. You see what I'm saying?
Well, let's go through the groups. The New Panther Party, you know, which is now ran by Chairman Nzinga, formerly ran by Malik Zulu Shabazz. They went into
Nation of Islam, which Farrakhan made a statement about it.
Already said they went into
Black
the
Lives Matter, which they ended up coming back to that,
and that became the determining factor until they found out that the guy had PTSD.
But they had named like 9 groups, and then all the group members you could see like on Facebook, they were talking about beating the elders up and stuff. And I'm like,
they made mention of the
Moors.
They made mention of the Moors, also.
Just folks was losing their mind.
At least as far as in commentary articles. So that was something in which that took place. But I didn't want to dwell on that too much. I want to go back to the beginning of the year with the death of Dr. David Blair, and also before I get to that, I want to finish going over this altar for y'all can know how to set that up. We told y'all that you need some type of good, earth stones in which that can help be part of that earth, or some type of silver or gold or some type of coinage, that can be there. Real copper pennies, them the ones that's before 1982, because now the ones that got now is like so much zinc is in it. It's really just zinc. And then you get the coins that's before 1965 that really have 1964 and down below that actually has real silver in it. So if you get nickels, if you get dimes, if you get silver dollars, quarters, actually 50-cent pieces, these actually had, for those that get it before 1965, had silver in it. So you can use those. Of course, you need, incense, like we said. We spoke about the 4 more powerful incense: sage, sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh.
Now, actually, sandalwood essential oil is powerful too. Like if you rub some on yourself, then it also helps to heal. It releases endorphins in your brain to help you remove blockages from your body. So it's really powerful. Yep, we do everything. We have everything. We carry everything. Because when our people are ready, we got it.
Right, because we care about our people.
Yeah,
that's just point blank. What I'm saying? Nobody puts their life on the line. What I'm saying? Unless they trying to, scam or do some other type of thing. But I mean, I'm talking about,
and we're not putting our life on the line. Right, we are living.
Right, I'm talking about somebody who's
our people. We living for
serious about this.
Yeah, this is serious.
What I'm saying? Because I've dedicated my life to this.
Yeah. And we appreciate y'all. Shoot.
No doubt about it. What I'm saying? Especially those who put forth, the funds and the support, during, this past 2016.
Because Alim sprayed itself in the face with a flea fogger in March during the day before our conference.
The day of the conference. So
that's what happened 2/16.
Right.
So I just want to give a shout out to all those people who are on our team.
I want to say thank y'all.
Because while I'm trying to hide and get him because the elder was like, no, you need to get him to the hospital. I'm like, no, he gonna be all right. I'm all covering him with water, and I got some we got the electromagnetic machine that my dad gave us, which we know works. I'm all trying to put in a vibration of love so he can hold it. Baby, you love, don't go nowhere. We didn't know what was going on. See, when you're a certain age, if you're not talking to the elders about certain things, you have no idea.
Yeah, but I knew what was going on instinctively. And so I took 10 cayenne peppers.
Oh, I'm so glad
and drunk 3.5
glasses of water till he can't, till he couldn't lift the water up to his mouth. My baby could not walk, and I'm like pulling him up on the bed, like, what in the world is this? You got to go on in 30 minutes. And then, and then the elders that were there were like, no, he needs to go to the hospital. And I'm like, baby, please, please, you all right? He couldn't even do nothing. So that was traumatic. That really was traumatic. I'm just grateful that you are still
once again,
here.
Everything is
that's why my word for 2016 was grateful.
Everything is a learning lesson.
I need
do not mess with flea floggers. Seriously. Yeah. Those types of sprays that's in cans, very toxic, very poisonous. If you have a highly activated vagus nerve or any of the other cranial nerves are highly,
or you are Aries
activated,
and you brain mental,
right? Highly activated. The smell sensors. Those types of things can really cause some damage. You know, it took me 4 days to come out of that stupor, you know what I'm saying, to become, you know, aware, you know, consciousness, you know, as we would say. Even though my wife and her mother said I was talking, you know, the whole time, you know, but I was not aware of talking and everything until the 4th day, you know. So 2016 was, you know, it was 6 days, you know, and basically I say this, since man was created on the 6th day, it took 6 days for this man to be recreated, you know what I'm saying, or resurrected, as they would say, you know, and that was a learning lesson, because now the ancestors are saying some real positive things, you know, that I can go forth and, you know, do what really needs to be done, you know.
Well, we learned a lot. Like, okay, so I just want to drop this jewel. Like, if you are having like tingling in your fingers or in your feet, then something is wrong, you know.
Right. That's if you're not practicing Reiki or some other type of energy modality.
So we learned to stay away from potatoes, because, you know, potatoes is a vegetable, you know. And then we also learned
what is a nightshade. So
blood O type.
Nightshades are not real good for O blood types.
Or rice.
Right.
So that was just another thing too. So don't
especially the rice. God damn.
And bread.
Y'all seen the damn Chinese?
Oh, they acting up. Now the Chinese, they got a couple of things to be responsible for, and rice is one of them. They over there putting the rice in the plastic. They're using plastic and putting it in a melting machine. Then it melts all together. Then they mixing it with other stuff, and then they are making this beautiful rice out of plastic.
And the shit look polished. All right, but all right, let me get back now.
So that also happened in 2016.
Yes. All right, so
do y'all see why we have to build? I mean, I don't understand why we ain't building around this piece. It took us 3 years to build what we had. No. You know, and then the water came in, and I know why they did that, because the water was on the police station in Fayetteville, and it was also on the courthouse. So the police station was totally submerged. So they sent the water to where our house was, because our house flooded when it was sunny outside on a Monday. And beautiful out there flooding. So that's what it was. But all I'm trying to do is inspire other people to build too, because it took us 3 years. And with every dime, like the goddess just said, she got the panic chakra stones from us. Thank you so much, goddess. I appreciate you so much. Sister Najma on there, she always supporting and giving. Every single dime went towards building. We are in a war out here.
And the little bit that we was able to do and finesse it with, you know what I'm saying? We remodeled a house, you know what I'm saying? We built a temple, which is i.e. a school on our own property. We built a store. We built. We had a cabin. We had 2 trailers.
2 of them.
You know,
we got one for $400 and we got one for $1,500. And then we had to wire those and make sure water was running up to them. Right. Just every single dime went towards building. It was like a safe haven. Right. We was even taking care of families, and when they would come, they didn't have to pay no rent, no electric, no phone, no cable, no internet, no nothing, no nothing.
All they had to do was just come and learn.
Right, come and learn, and also, you know, it strengthened numbers. And we also was dealing with the vibration of family, because some people tried to come, like one cipher tried to come in 2016, and they was gonna bring their own trailer, but they had multiple wives, and we're not doing that here. We don't have to do. I don't have to do that. See, my mother and father are still together. I don't have no negative perspectives of not having no father. My daddy was always there. He was not beating my mama. He was not mistreating her. He wasn't mistreating us. What my daddy was doing was going to work every night, and my mother worked during the day. So my perspective of men is superior. It's supreme. It's not coming from no gutter, negative vibrating mentality, and not taking nothing away from those people whose situation is not like that. But just real talk, my perspective of the melanated man is like God. Because that's what I see. I have a twin brother. I also had an eldest brother named Malcolm Ryan. May he rest in peace. Ashe. My father, my husband, my son, every man in my life is superior. So I just don't know nothing else. So, we don't have to have it. So a cipher tried to come. They were like, you know what? You just don't want us to come because we sit up here with 2 wives, and Alim deserves another wife. And I was like, what? Y'all shit is fucked up over there. Y'all trying to bring that fucked up stuff over here. You won't do it. And guess what? 2016 showed that their stuff ain't even work. They not even together no more. So you trying to bring that mess to my house, and I wouldn't let you. But that was the only thing really that wouldn't manifest, other than the other people that were trying to come after Alim had his cavernoma. I mean, how y'all gonna be at our house and we ain't even there? Because our family took us in because I needed help with the God, you know? So that's what another thing was. And then my mom saw what we were building, and my mom was like, baby, I know you said y'all was building a nation. This is wonderful. So then she gave me my inheritance, which is 28 acres of land. So on there, what I want to manifest, and I'm gonna put gold light around this idea. The reason why I'm gonna put gold light around the idea is because I want y'all to do it in your area too, and I also need y'all to help us build it too. But I'm putting gold light around it because I don't want it to be stagnated, and I don't want it to be taken away. Because a lot of times when you say what you're going to do, no, I'm going to change that. Because a lot of times when you say what you're going to do, it manifests. Okay, that's what we're going to change the vibration to. But we need a dormitory where like runaway children can go, or battered children, you know what I mean? Or black sheep. You know what I mean? They ain't even got to be beat or abused. They're just black sheep, and they striving for this information. And we're not going to be being intimate with them because we don't have no intimacy in the incorrect vibrations, because we have had models that were stable and balanced. Right. So we ain't going to be intimate with the seeds, period. You know, so that's just what it is. We're going to be doing Tai Chi and Qigong with these seeds. They're going to be also helping with the farm, because as you can see, we need to start growing our own food. It's a reason why we are #1 with heart disease, prostate issues, cancer. Not only are they injecting it into us in our vaccines, which is easy to get out of, a vaccine exemption form and a notary. That's it. It's simple, family. And I think a notary is $3 to $5. And then you can take that to their school. And then also too, look it up in the you need to find out what the laws they are going by. We already know the universal law. However, until we are generating our own and getting a little more respect than we getting, then you learn the rules of the game, and then you make them listen to them. It's their own rules. So you go and find the laws in your own state republic on vaccines, and then you hold it today. It's either philosophical, it's religious exemption, or health reasons to not be vaccinated, adults and children. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be, the children are going to be helping us with the farm. I also want to have honey, because I know we can create wax with the bees. And then also too, they are endangered too with all the chemtrails and different things like that. So we want to have like a meadow of flowers for the bees to pollinate in. And then I was looking at some flow hive honeybees and flow hives, and they create different kinds of honey. So, and the bees are so ingenious that if they're pollinating on a pear tree, a flowering pear, then that'll be just the honey for that. And then if they are pollinating on some hemp, then that'll be just the honey for that. Or some red clover, or some alfalfa. It's just beautiful. Harvest some bees so we can have the wax for our hair, and then also the honey. And then also too, I think that we should have a barbershop, because 28 acres is a lot of land. So I think we should probably have a barbershop too, because the brothers like the vibe, you know what I mean? And they also be, I just got a love for the brothers, period. I just do. And then probably later on, we'll manifest a hair salon. A hair salon where we can get these sisters up on a vibration that's beautiful and not feel them. Because see, the women have been oppressed more than anybody else.
That's a natural hair salon.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a natural hair salon. But the women have been more enslaved than anybody on the planet. They are enslaved and don't even know it. Like when I put a mirror up to the vibration of multiple wives, I be like, you know what, well, shoot, if we're going to have multiple wives, then we need some multiple men up in here. You see what I'm saying? And then they be like, I don't even want no another husband. I'm like, exactly. Exactly. And you don't want no multiple wife either. What kind of mess is that? You ain't sufficient? No, you're not insufficient. So that's just what it is, you know? So that's how I feel about it. I definitely want to be an advocate for the women, because it's nothing worse than somebody who is enslaved and don't even know they enslaved. So it's stages of slavery. And it's time for the women to rise, period, point blank. I always say this. The opposite of a Caucasian is melanin. So that's Caucasian. The opposite of a white person is somebody who's not white. A man is a woman. So when you rise the melanated woman, then the Caucasian male, who is the opposite, will go to the bottom. Do you see that? So as long as the woman is being demoralized and inequalified and then you're gonna have this, period. So that's why I'm fighting so hard for the balance. You know, sisters walking around talking about they can't show nothing but the slit of their eyes because the brothers can't think while they praying. Well, then that brother need to raise his vibration. He need to rub his third eye. For real, unloose that genie. You know, so he can manifest God. That's why I call you God, because it's time to manifest God. You know, so that's my spiel on it. What else happened in 2016?
Well, let's get to Dr. Francis Quest Welsing. Phenomenal book, ISIS Papers. And you know how, that book has changed lives for real. Changed my life, as far as my attitude towards psychology and psychiatry. She put out that information dealing with melanin back in her book, the ISIS Papers. She also showed what was in the scene of Boomerang when Martin was talking about the pool table. And the pool table is green because it symbolizes the theory of flat earth, of what the Albion used to think, that the earth was flat. And then the white ball hits in all the other colored balls, and then the last one that it hits in to win the game is the black ball. Now, she had all of this in her book, the ISIS Papers, and if y'all can hear in the background, y'all can hear all that popping off noise.
They shooting like crazy.
I mean, I'm hearing AK-47s and AR-15s and and
it's melanated hunters around here. It's like a hunting club. So yeah, family definitely got guns.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm hearing all of that in the background right here. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that's what's taking place. But anyway, you want to talk about Dr. Francis Quest Welsing? Phenomenal goddess. That everybody need to be up on. If you don't know her information, if you don't have her book, the ISIS Papers, then you slipping. Seriously, because there's no way possible for you in this day and time to say that you're conscious and don't have her book. All right, so I recommend you getting her book. All right, ISIS Papers. Phenomenal book. Not too many books you will read that goes in depth. And she speaks about the fact that Dr. Nellie Fuller Jr. was her teacher. And so he comes up with the 9 front of confrontation theory against white supremacy or racism. And they mention law, which anybody who calls themselves conscious should not be bashing another brother or sister for studying law, and especially studying it from the Moorish way or Moorish jurisprudence. That is simply retarded.
Because I know it's worked for us. We do it. We've done it. So I know it works for us. I
can pull out documents right now in order to prove to you, how we won court cases. Yeah. And I'll do that before we end this tonight and prove to you, how we won court cases. Just went up and bogarted the courtroom, basically took it over.
Humbly, all due respectfully. And then also too, like we would always like file a complaint, because that's the first thing to do, especially if you've been assaulted or disrespected,
molested, or brutalized.
Thing to do is file a complaint. You need a paper trail.
Right, brutalized. You have to go to if the police, you have to go to the police department.
Yeah.
Now that's hard to believe that you have to file it with the same people in which that
well, you have to have a paper trail, because their whole thing is, oh, okay, this happened to you, but you ain't say nothing. Why you ain't file a complaint?
Right.
That's the first thing they're gonna say. So that's the first thing to do, and it's powerful because when you get to court, they dismissing everybody. You know what I mean? I know for ourselves, when I was assaulted, I filed a complaint, and Because we had to walk down there because they stole our land transport.
This happened that
and
Friday.
The dude came 2 hours late. The judge was 2 hours late. Everybody was waiting and talking to each other in the courtroom. And they was dismissing everybody. Then when it was my turn to go up there, he called the police officer on the stand. And you know, Caucasians, they face be red when they've been crying. His eyes was all red, nose was all red. And he was just like, yeah, I was there on the night. And then I'm laughing now, but that shit was not funny then. But then he was like, okay, so why did you mess with her? And he was like, I said, exactly, Your Honor, there was no probable cause. And no, what happened? I said, no, it was no jurisdiction. He said, well, what about probable cause? I said, won't probable cause either. And he was like, dismissed. We actually sued the police officer so that he had to get an attorney. Now, we did not win, but he also would see that that this wasn't no game. I told him I was going to sue him, and I did. You see what I'm saying? So I caused them emotional stress. Going to court is emotional stressful. It is. That thing is stressful, you know? So he had to go to court. He had to get an attorney, you know? But they are going to be there for each other. But that just means we need to build. That's why when we say we're going to build, we got to build. Period. Because we the only ones ain't building. I mean, are we the only ones not building? Because I don't think that's true either. Because I do know that we be building, but I do think the conscious community, we should be way further along than we are with all the wisdom that we accumulate and all the wisdom that we spew. You know, we should definitely be further along. You know, that's just really what it is. Alim's gonna show y'all some dismissals from court proceedings and different things like that. And his dismissals were for the right to travel, which we know is real. No insurance.
Which Nick Rose is trying to bash Brother Taj about, which was something else that happened 2016.
I was so shocked when they were talking about they was going to beat up the elder. Talking about, you better come back to National Black Theater or we're going to... I'm like, you going to beat up Grandpa for real? Is that what you just did on your camera? And it was last week when the Caucasians was all calling out everybody. So now y'all fighting each other. Should we be showing a unified front? I just don't be understanding that. But it's because it stages to consciousness. Just real talk it is. So that's the challenge I'm going to put out for us to rise above this reality TV vibration, especially on camera. Especially with a microphone in your hand.
But every Negro want to have his 5 minutes of fame. And that's what's going on. And then y'all allow for them to come in. Ain't come out of no damn where. That's what gets me. Ain't write a fucking book the first. Don't got no videos. Just got on for the first time or so. And becomes an all-star and become a master teacher. And this nigga ain't put in no damn work. Ain't even been out a goddamn month. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or a year. You know, I ain't saying that you can't learn from anybody. I'm just saying, yo, inspect your teachers. Not just respect, but inspect them. You know what I'm saying?
And the reason why we say that is because the children are looking at this, you know. Right. If it wasn't for C. Freeman L., if it wasn't for Bobby Hemmett, you know, and they wasn't out here, you know, I know it was a different era too, you know what I mean? But they just wasn't out here like that, you know? They wasn't. So we want to have teachers in which our children can, you know, emulate. A lot of our children, well, it's perceived that a lot of our children don't have father figures, you know, or decent mother figures or elders that are talking this type of information, you know. But what's your perspective on it?
But see, this is the thing. We are dealing with a society in which that has become insensitive due to so-called reality TV. Everything now is being played out, and most people don't understand or understand that this shit is scripted. They still put forth a script or idea, and then the people have to play into it the best of their ability. The one who can play into it the most is the one who ends up getting their own show later on. You see? So you got to understand is that now we got YouTube. And YouTube, you know, we got Negroes on YouTube playing this shit out. Ooh. And vibing for your participation as you watch them act a fool. You know? Now, they've never talked to you about spirituality. Very little, if any.
It's sort of like the church, how the pastor don't want you reading Stolen Legacy and reading higher sciences because the pastor wants to continue to be able to manipulate you. You know?
Right.
So it's sort of like that vibration because it's like the information that will rise you to a level of godliness or godlike vibrations, that's called spookism. You know, that's not put out in the forefront, even though it's the key to what we need right now. You know, the Caucasian is actually using that science right now to oppress us.
Well, obviously, I don't see enough people trying to devise strategies and plans to get up out of this mess. This is why my favorite saying is, and I give props to Brother John McCoy, who stated this, and I told him that I had to run with it because it was the most powerful statement or phrase that I ever heard as far as the ego. He stated there's nothing worse than a slave with an ego. And that's all I'm seeing in this so-called conscious community is a bunch of slaves with egos. And none of them are really doing anything vital as far as practicality to really get us out of this predicament. You know, we just talking about a school. We just talking about, you know, the various aspects, because like we said, Francis Cress-Welsing stated specifically that there was 9 battlefronts. All right, remember we just mentioned what? Law. Most people don't even want to go into law. Everybody don't have to become a lawyer, but goddamn, know your rights, because the way that these motherfuckers going out here, oppressing and dehumanizing and brutalizing, what is it?
Yeah, dehumanizing and brutalizing our
people. Come on. Why wouldn't you think that learning law would be important?
You know, but the thing is also too, especially if your behind is in a sling that you got yourself into,
right?
Then that's time for crunch time for studying, and honestly, that's a motivating vibration. Maybe that's why it manifested,
right? And
so
then
that
most
you
of the
can
time,
get into the books and get yourself out of the situation.
And
now,
then,
if you reclamate through us, we will, you know, talk to you. We'll also give y'all what we know with the experience that we've gotten through. People say that time and time again. We will definitely build with you. If somebody's talking negatively about us, that's because they haven't called us and talked to us. How are we supposed to know how they feeling if they go and tell other people and not tell us? That's just what it is, because our business practice is superior. Period, point blank. It just is. We care about our karma. You know, I'm a Pisces and the God is an Aries. So we're not caught up on the physical aspects of things to the point where we are in our lower nature, where we got to be intimate with a whole bunch of people, or whether we got to have a whole bunch of nice cars and stuff like that. Matter of fact, the 2 cars that we navigate now were given to us. You know, and then my mom opened up a car lot. So, I mean, it's those type of things are not of value. You see what I'm saying? What's of value is a crystal. I remember when our store got broken into on Shaw Road. I know there was like crystals going through my mess like these. They got beads. You know, it wasn't nothing worth, I think, the average person would think is worthy of stealing. You can't take no crystal to no pawn shop. You see what I'm saying? So that's, you see what I'm saying? That's just what it was. So that you want to make sure that a certain amount of the lower nature is mastered. You know, that's just what it is. But Alim did find the cases. Okay, so this is a true copy seal. And then what we did was this is a copy of a copy. So this doesn't actually have the emboss on it. So what you do is you darken it. You can darken it with any kind of chalk, or they even have like seals that have like a chalk seal, and you can put it on top of it in order to dye the emboss.
Or ink.
Mm-hmm. So this one right here was a dismissal in Cumberland County for...
It was her dismissal. And what was it for?
It was no operator's license.
Right. So no license, and she got a dismissal. Anybody else would have probably gone to jail, or either would have had to be forced to pay $400 and go and get a license.
And also, just to make this point, my license, wasn't nothing wrong with my license either. I actually surrendered my license in good standing. And I remember when I went in there that day, I was like, I no longer need this.
Hold on, and that's the key. Most people
don't know that that's the
most
key.
People allow their license to expire, or either they tried to do this while their license is suspended or revoked.
Right.
No. While your license is in good standing, you go and give it back to the DMV in good standing and get a letter of surrenderance. You attach that letter to your right to travel that you have already put on the county and gave notice, and you send out the notices of that information along with your nationality card, right to travel card, or either your plate, and you send that information to the sheriff department, police department, Department of Transportation.
You give notice.
The DMV, Department of Motor Vehicle, as well as also to the State Highway Patrol Department. So you send it to these 5 places and give notice. All right? Otherwise, you will have problems. And that is something in which that also happened in 2016, in which that they blamed Taj for, was the death of the sister, Goings.
Yeah.
You know, Sister Goings.
That's why it's so important to have a teacher. See, first of all, Taj's documents are free. So, and see, ours aren't. Ours are $360.
Right.
But you also
get a 2-month class.
You get a 2-month class. You also call us and email us, and we build with you.
Right.
So our whole thing is to give back more than we receive.
And we send you the forms and instructions on how to beat these cases.
But may that goddess rest in peace. And I'm not going to blame that on Taj. Because the goddess was so passionate about the wisdom that she was learning.
But other people blame Taj for that. All right?
Yeah,
I mean, and got on, Kareem, right. And got on video and blame Brother Taj for that.
And he never even met the goddess.
Right.
Y'all know he ain't meet that queen.
Right. Now,
y'all know y'all can't get a call through because y'all call us about it. So you know she ain't talked to him. Some things we can put together. And I don't blame him because it's free. You know, you are responsible for your own actions. And I hate that. I wish I would have been able to talk to that queen. But what a lot of people don't know was the reason why that Virgo was going ham like that is because they slammed her on her belly and she lost her baby.
That was 2 weeks before.
That was the lawsuit she was referring to, which miraculously disappeared after her death.
Right. Exactly. Right here, as you see, you can see the date there. You can see her name. You can also see
this is
the
for
word dismissal. This is
no
the same
inspection
one.
To sticker.
Oh, this is no inspection sticker. So as you see, no inspection sticker.
Yeah.
All right.
No inspection sticker. And then also no liability insurance.
No insurance. So you seen.
I hate showing y'all my information because I know y'all gonna do the knowledge, but shoot, since y'all gonna do knowledge, I also got in trouble too. I got in trouble with helping the inmates get they got my name and stuff.
I wasn't talking about
they got my name and stuff, and I know y'all gonna do the knowledge on nigga. All this stuff is well, I'm a nigga. But all of this stuff is public information. You know, we was helping people get refunds and stuff, which I did 10 people. And they got back $6,000 to $7,000. A lot of times I didn't even get no money for that. And Messiah got locked up. You know, that's a good brother. You know, he was an Aries. He's locked up now. The guy got 32 years. And then shouts out to Crystal, you know, because she got 8 years. But those are really freedom fighters because they was out here trying to help our people. So a lot of these brothers were incarcerated. We would do the knowledge and make sure they wasn't incarcerated for child stuff. And that we would also do it for more. So we would like type in El-Bey, you know, so when they got out, they had some money, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times they be incarcerated for years. They can't get no car. They see don't respect them because they ain't got no money. They can't get no job. So that's why I did it. You know what I mean? And they got in trouble and so did I. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Yeah, but the thing is that all things is a learning lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know, like, for example, I've got our 4 brothers out of jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And trying to get more out, you know, because there's 2 million brothers, you know, and sisters locked up in the prison system, mass incarceration, which is nothing but the new form of slavery. Get the book, The New Jim Crow, you know, and that's all it is. So I've done my part as far as getting 4 out of jail over the last 3 years. All right, 4 brothers out of jail the last 3 years. And this is federal and state charges. All right, federal and state charges. All right, so, you know, you have to master the science of law, you know.
Because ignorance to the law is no excuse.
Indeed.
You
Indeed,
know?
There's no excuse, you know what I mean?
And the law is very profitable. And our whole thing was like, they're not going to get a dime out of us, you know? And it was stressful, family. It really was, because it was like we were fighting them. And then we were also fighting, you know, our chiefs too, because we had chiefs too. So it was a lot. So we stopped navigating on the plates, even though we know that it's real, because we just felt like it's stages to this. But what we were doing was what our teacher told us to do, which was Crown Prince Ramesses El-Bey, our elder.
Right, but we got a new way of doing it, because we was able to form a trust, you know, a religious ministry, and put everything under that. So there's ways to do it. When we were just doing it like this, you know,
we was in court all the time. We was getting gray hair. Also, when you have a court date, our experiences are to take vitamin B12. That helps with the stress. It helps convert your food into energy, because stress will kill you. Also, too, we noticed that it worked more powerfully when we were reading Psalm 7 and 11. Now, remember, our ancestors have a compilation of the Bible. So that's another thing, misconception with the conscious community, that no longer Christianity is of any use. But the higher sciences to Christianity is Gnosticism. That's dealing with some high magic. So all of these sacred texts came from our ancestry. So that's just a misconception. The Bible is still a powerful book. It's just your perspective of that science. So I would say definitely read Psalm 7, Psalms 11 if you're dealing with court situations. Also burn a blue candle. Also High John the Conquering root, which is very powerful. See, our ancestors dealt with roots. You know, so very powerful. I noticed that it was easier in court, even though we won every case. It was easier in court when we did our magic first.
No doubt. And as you see right here, this is mine's. Dispose. You will see the word dispose right there. And you will see where it says fictitious tags. You can see no driver's license, no registration card, nor tags. I didn't have anything, and it was dismissed or disposed of. Disposed of is stronger than dismissed. Dismissed means that they can bring it back. Disposed of means that they can't. All right. So these are just things in which that, you know, they try to scare you. Understand that the whole point of this fraud takes place with the driver's license, and that's all Tosh was trying to explain.
Right.
That this fraud takes place first with the driver's license. All right. So the driver's license, you know, your name is in all caps. That's the straw man. You know, that is the trademark, trade name. You know, that is, you know, what they refer to as the stormiest homo. You know, the name in all caps. All right. So we have to understand is that that's how this fraud is perpetrated, because they say that that is you. You know, and then of course in these court cases they ask you, do you understand, you know,
the charges that's being brought up against you?
Right.
And you say, because I don't understand why people talking about my honor and all that. You don't go in there disrespectfully. You don't do that, because you still an ant. You know what I mean? In there, you still an ant. In your home, you a king, you a queen, but in there, you an ant. And you don't go in there being disrespectful. I know we never did. So do you understand the charges that's being brought up against you? Your Honor, with all due respect, no. As a matter of fact, has any of my affidavits been rebutted? So I sent them in, you know, weeks ago, and he go to certified return receipt. And that's your conversation. That stays on your conversation. Well, was you in your car on the night in question? Your Honor, let's establish jurisdiction before adjudication. Have my affidavits been rebutted point for point? Because according to the laws of canon, Your Honor, with all due respect, that stands as truth until it is.
Well, the maxims of law. So the maximum law states specifically that in order for your truth to be expressed, it must be in the form of an affidavit. If it's not in the form of affidavit, then your truth is not being expressed. So you have these knuckleheads out here telling you, well, you don't need any paperwork. You just go in and say you are more. You out your motherfucking mind.
What happens is you don't have no paperwork. What we've been noticing, because we've been doing this for years.
Psychological profile.
They give you a psychiatric evaluation.
Psychiatric evaluation is what you would get.
This Negro trying to run away from the
and they will place your ass. And they will place your ass in the goddamn crazy house.
I think they think of it like it, because we have cows all around us and stuff like that. We don't have them, but there's cows all around us and stuff like that. And it's like those cows be looking at you like, please set me free. But we'd be like, well, where we gonna let you go? Where you gonna go? You know, how we gonna set you free? Same thing with the gorillas in the zoo. How we gonna get you out of here? And then where you gonna go? You know, so but the beautiful thing is we can build it though. You see? So that's why it's just unfathomable for me. I don't understand why we're not building it, because we actually acquired land, 3 acres of land in a house for $900. Most people, and then when I told people that they were more, they were like, oh, so you paying taxes now? I said, yeah, I paid it at one time. You paying rent?
Right.
You know, because we don't pay rent.
And here it is going on 4 years later. We ain't had to pay any more taxes.
Sure didn't. Matter of fact, they handed us the form and was like, y'all tax exempt. Make sure you fill this out.
Which we can show you that too.
You know, so right. I'm just like, I just don't understand why we're not further along. So that's my challenge for us to get further along. I just told you, ego. There's nothing worse than a slave with an ego. Nothing worse than a slave with an ego. And that's for real. There's nothing worse than a slave with an ego. Remember what I just said. All right. So that's the science on law that Dr. Frances Quest Wells spoke about. She also mentioned religion. All right. Number one, I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I'm Jewish, or I'm a Jew, I should say, not Jewish. I'm a Jew, which is a Hebrew or Israelite. I'm also a Hindu as far as the Tamil people, Hindustan or Vedic Sanskrit writing is concerned. All right. Also a Taoist, as well as also a Buddhist. All the major world religions I can get with and understand that there's a commonality between them all. There's a golden thread that runs through them all. All right. The golden rule of them all is basically do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. All of them have said that in some shape, form, or fashion. All major world religions have said that. So that is the golden rule. That is based on the principles of the 42 laws of Ma'at, the 77 laws of Ma'at, or the 147 laws or confessions of Ma'at, whichever one you want to utilize. All right. Now, well, this one brother said, by the way, happy Independence Day to Haiti on 1/1 because it's after 12. 1804, they declared their independence. Powerful God. Thank you so much for that memory.
Because I got Haitian blood.
Oh, that was also in 2016. The Nat Turner movie. Right, family? Because we all knew that Nat Turner found out that he was not a slave. He found out that he was a slave in his own grandfather's house, because y'all remember our ancestors used to bury stuff. You know, they would put it in a mattress. They didn't believe in trusting the bank.
Of course, that was not in the movie.
Yeah, that part wasn't in the movie, but he found pictures, ancient pictures of his granddaddy being in that house and the family. He realized it was their house. So it was just like, wow. That's why he went ham. But remember, he had that vision where the sun, the symbol where the sun was green, and also too it was seen all the way in Haiti as well. So shout out to the Haitians. Our energy and our love goes out to them because they are getting their behinds whooped, you know, over there, you know, with cholera and you know,
and because the United States sent forth the damn you know, what we
tsunami.
Right. Well, sent forth the earthquake.
Yeah, that didn't even affect
right.
the Dominican Republic, and
right.
it didn't even crash.
Right. When you heard of the
ocean floor.
When you heard of the earthquake stopping at the border.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, Trump want to stop the Mexicans at the border, but damn, earthquakes stop at the border. You know, so that is the nonsense, because we know that the Dominicans are on the same island as the Haitians. You know, so
yeah, HARP. Yeah,
right.
Thank you, Philip.
Right, we know that HARP, you know, sent forth that, you know, that hurricane, you know, just right after, actually.
But the beautiful thing is,
because
I remember in college when I met Alim in 2001, or was it 98?
98.
We would always come together and we would bust up the harps. And I'm telling you, we met every Wednesday. And every Wednesday, it would be beautiful that night and into all through the week. And then on Tuesday, it would start getting cloudy again. And then we would bust up the harps again. So we can have little groups where we are busting up the harp. As a matter of fact, we can do it right now. What you do is you visualize, like everybody just deep breathes. Because we all do that. We get on the same breath, then you exhale. You'll see like a dimension of vibration. As a matter of fact, I see it. You breathe in into the stars. I also see a T, a golden T, and exhale. And then Alim would always visualize himself being a giant, busting up the harps, utilizing the energy that we were all generating on. I know it works. I know it works. Another reason why I hooked up with him is because I had stubbed the mess out of my toe. And we were all in like a community. Everybody was living in the house. We had a whole bunch of children in the house. And it was an apartment complex. And it was, I think, 2 bedrooms, but it was 13 of us in there. And we was doing like the Mexicans. We was doing like our family, the Boncanos and the Tallanos family. We was deep. So the rent wasn't that expensive. You know what I mean? But anyway, I stubbed my toe and Alim took his energy and wiped it away. And he immediately stopped. I was like, oh, I'm with God. Now, one brother in the chat room was like, look, we need to address people calling themselves gods because they melanin. I'm surrounded by gods. You know what I mean? So I make a mistake and call people God all the time because that's what I'm used to. You see what I'm saying? And my whole thing is to help people resonate to that vibration because it's so needed. It's needed. It's like it's dire to me. You know, so my daddy God. My husband is God. My son is God. My brother is God. They just really superior in their thinking.
Well, let's get to that word God. We know that the word God comes from the German word good, which is the same word that we use in English transliteration as the word good, G-O-O-D. Of course, that's the reason why you can take the O out and it got G-O-D, which is the word God. So the word God just simply means good. And that would be positive or agreeable to us within our English understanding. You know, now, El, which means power or force, or God, as we would say nowadays, but that power of force is El. Of course, El is short for elect. El is short for electricity, you know, which is a current, you know, a currency, you know, as we would say.
Or 11, which is a magic number.
Or 11, right, which is the master builder's number. You know, so El is that force or power, you know, of manifestation. So we know that El is the word God within Hebrew. Now, it is Al, A-L, which is short for Allah or Allah or Allah within, which is Hebrew again, which is A-L-A-H or E-L-A-H, which becomes Elo, E-L-O-H, which becomes within the Arabic A-L-L-A-H, Allah. So Allah becomes Allah, you know, Hebrew and Arabic, which has a commonality. They both stem from the Metru Neter. All right. So the word Allah stems from the word Ura, U-R-R-A. Ura, or Ra-Ur, means the great light. All right. Now, what is that great light? It's talking about that cosmic light. We're talking about, and specifically Alcyon, which is the central star in our galaxy, you know, in which that we go around every 25,928 years, to be right and exact. All right, so that sun is larger. All right, dozens and dozens.
Omnipotent. The God,
right,
the
larger.
divine greatness. I think said it in the chat room. I'm sorry. The chat went up, but also too, the God who asked that question was like, well, what are the responsibilities of God?
Right.
The responsibilities of God is meditating. I think that meditating is a really good responsibility.
Right. Which puts the ego in order. That puts the ego in order. You know, you have to meditate to put the ego in order so that the God, which the higher self, can put forth the qualities in which that would be necessary on this planet, which is mercy, love, compassion, right, or righteousness. You know, these are the qualities that you want to exude, you want to transmit, because with these qualities, you're able to generate a larger aura and encompass and heal those who are in need of healing, who are in need of a change in their life. And that's what you want to do on this planet. You want to be able to be a change. You want to be able to produce change. You know, you want to be able to manifest. You know, so that's the purpose of someone who would say that they are God, or who will say that they are El. You have all these brothers or Moors and sisters who are Moors who takes on the title El, and really don't know what it means. You know, not trying to really live up to those qualities. You know, but El means a power or force, and it's not talking about an ego. It's talking about a silent power or silent force. You don't have to say a word, and people can feel your manifestation. They can feel your aura. They can feel or see your aura. You know, these are the qualities that you want to have. You know, so this is the key. You know, these are the sciences. You know, so you know, we're looking at religion, and we know that even on someone who said that they're Moorish American, on their card it states that we respect all prophets, and they name the prophets: Jesus, Muhammad, Confucius. All right, they make mention of these prophets. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Confucian is Confucianism, which deals with Taoism, because Lao Tzu and Confucius was contemporaries. They lived during the same time period and met. You know, so you know, that means you would study that. Buddha, you would study Buddhism. So when you hear somebody say Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, understand that they are chanting, you know, that divine essence of seed within the lotus, which is within their mind, their brain actually, or what is known as the divine soul. They're trying to tap into the soul by chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Why would you feel that that is something in which that you can't do when it's talking about opening and activating that divine essence within you? There's 1,000 petals of lotus, or what is known as 1,000 petal lotus plant, which is actually symbolic to your crown chakra. All right, it's symbolic to your crown chakras. The 6 chakras leading up to that 1,000 is 144. 144 times 1,000 is 144,000. So each of your chakras break down to 144. All right. And then that 7th chakra is 1,000. And that's where you get 144,000 once you combine them. So once your Kundalini energy comes up through the 6 chakras, you have reached 144. And then to become the 144,000, then it must tap into the crown chakra to activate those 1,000 petals. So when Bush is talking about the 1,000 points of light, that's really the light that you're really trying to strive for. It ain't talking about the new world order. The way to establish a new world order is here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you want the new world order at.
Where else would it be?
All right, this is the new world order. All right, that's where you want it at. All these other distractions that they talking about, the Illuminati, The real Illuminati is when you receive this gold disc around the top of your head and you are in the image and after the likeness of the sun up there. And now you have the same sun here around your head. So now you become the son of the sun or the son of God. That's what that is all symbolic to. And hence the light of the world. Jesus is the light of the world. Well, yeah, so am I. You see this sun disc around my head? I'm the light of the world too. You know what I'm saying? And that is symbolic to all of us striving to raise Kundalini from Kundalini Shakti to now Kundalini Shiva and create this golden disc around our heads. This is toys, inner enlightenment, inner peace. No, that is real Islam. You know, when you chant the 7 stanzas or ayats of the surah al-Fatiha, and you state A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Those 7 stanzas ends with the ayn sound. If you go to Hebrew or Arabic, the 18th and the 16th letter is the I. The I. And guess what? That's the symbol of the ayn sound. A-I-Y-N or A-Y-N. The ayn sound symbol is an I. All right? Within your Holy Quran, Circle 7, or better yet, within your 102s and 101s, it states specifically that God has 7 eyes. The 7 eyes of Allah, the 7 eyes of God, which is mentioned in the book of Revelation. All right? Those 7 are talking about your 7 chakras. Those are the eyes of God. And also you have 7 eyes here, right above this area here, which is right in between the eyebrows. You have 7 points, which goes right here to at the top of the head, which is that soft spot that was in the top of your head as a baby or a child. And that is where your soul got embedded at inside of the pineal gland. All right, that's for those who are here for a higher purpose. There's some who the doorway open at the mouth of God, which is at the medulla oblongata at the back of the head, some at the heart chakra, etc., etc. All right, but this is where you really want to be at in manifestation. All right, and if these individuals are not teaching you this, then really they're teaching you bullshit and distraction that I have with the so-called conscious community. Because all these debates about history, number one, let's get this straight.
Well, nobody there.
Nobody
was you there? So how you gonna make sure?
Right.
And then the Caucasians and burned the dog on Alexandria, burned the books, you know, and killed the people who were in the knowledge.
Right. And that's the thing, is that yes, you could have been there, reincarnation, or previous incarnation, I should say. However, most of you don't have the ability to tap into the mouth of God, which is the medulla oblongata.
Why are we fighting?
You know what I'm saying? And relive those experiences.
I could see why the House of Consciousness manifest. Now I ain't gonna be like, you done said people's names, but I could see why the gods were manifesting the boxing ring to fight, because they generating muku money to, you know, to sniff, because quiet as it's kept, you know what I mean? The guys calling other people out probably was in the room with them. You see what I'm saying? So, but I don't understand why we have time to generate all this money and then not buy change.
Right.
You know, you done been blessed with this windfall of dough and you ain't add on with it. You just pay rent.
Right.
That's it.
Right. These individuals.
You bought a car?
Where's their land at? That's the question.
You bought some clothes?
Where's their land?
Are you serious?
Because the only thing of substance on planet Earth, besides for you living, is land. And you tying your ass back to land. That's the reason why we use the word Moors, because in the Black's Law Dictionary, when you look up the word land, the word Moors is embedded inside of the goddamn definition. So remember, Dr. John Henry Clark said, we are a people in search of a nationality. And for us to search for nationality, it must instantaneously tie us back to land, history, and culture. Well, goddamn, there's no other word that ties you back to land more instantaneous than the word Moors. When you look in the fucking Black's Law Dictionary and the goddamn word Moors have it right there embedded inside of the definition of land.
Philip doing his thing. He over there studying.
You understand that? So that's the reason why we use the term Moor. Because it ties you back nationality or ethnicity-wise back to land. Now, you can use black. That's your choice.
Yeah, because ain't nobody extreme with that.
Right.
The Moors be having a meeting at the National Black Theater. Come on, we can't be extreme and we can't be beating each other up with knowledge.
Right. This not
You're
the
gonna
point.
be too tired to build. That's what's going on.
Number one, you can't fight them and fight your people at the same time, yo. Either you got one fucking enemy
and y'all come together
right.
and be prepared for the enemy to strike.
Right.
Or y'all gonna fight and then the whole community, then ain't nobody gonna be fearful of you because you already tired.
You know what I'm saying?
You weaken yourself.
It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying?
And I think some people need to read The Art of War.
They need to, by Sun Tzu. You need to read The Art of War. You know, matter of fact, I got a whole bunch of books over on the show before we go out tonight for y'all can read and study and do your research.
Well, let's take some questions and while you showing the books, Scott, because I want us to do a ritual together. I am so glad that
I ain't finished.
Oh, okay, well go ahead. But what time do you want to do the ritual? Because I said at 1 o'clock, so that's in 14 minutes.
All right, well. We get tell them what the ritual consists of, and we'll get to that at that time.
Okay, well, like I typed in the chat room, family, I want y'all to make sure that y'all, because we got a reversible candle. This candle we have had now on the altar for about 3 months. So this is really powerful. So reversible candle, which we also have on our website.
Which reversible simply means that is able to
absorb the negative energy.
Right.
Now, most people will absorb the negative energy and then send it back to whoever received it. But most people who send it don't have the ability to take back what they put out. So if you are dealing with higher vibrational energy, you'll convert it into positive energy. And then it blends in with this red, which is the passion and the fire. So this is the colors of of Ishwa-Legba. So it helps to open the gateway.
As he is the Lord of the Crossroads.
Right. And also, so it absorbs negative energy and converts it into positivity because energy is created nor is it destroyed. And then also too, we are constantly making stuff, whether it's laundry detergent or deodorant or lotion. This right here is Dr. Alim made this, and it's called Rub My Feet and Shower Me oil, and we have like different variations of it, some for hair growth and but all of them are high resonating because they all have therapeutic grade essential oils, and it smells amazing. It really does. And then we also have a blue rickets, which you can put on your third eye.
Throat chakra. You
can dissolve it and put it in a bath. You can also wash your clothes with it, get some really white. But what it does is it cleanses the aura. And so does this. This is actually Cascalia. It got something to go right there. It helps to cleanse your aura as well. So if you're going out in the subway, you got all these people around you all the time, or you're changing relationships, or you just got negative energy around you. These are very powerful cleansers. You can dissolve them again, or you can use them to make vevas or symbols that come on your mind when you dream or in meditation. These symbols are used to help for protection. And then also too, some sage. Y'all know some sage. Sage, y'all already know what sage does, but just for those who don't, it helps to cleanse the aura and it smells amazing. It has the aura of real Chiba, non-hybrid original reefer. And then, of course, you're gonna need a lighter. Here's the incense. I believe this is frankincense, and then some crystals. So we'll probably gift these crystals in the next 6 orders. Yeah. So that's what you need. And then also some water. You need some water. You need to take some internally because you want to make sure that your brain is lubricated as well as your spine. A lot of people are having back pain because even when they're laying down, because they are severely dehydrated. A lot of times people take being thirsty as being hungry. We need to be making sure we're drinking plenty of water. If you can, boil it. If not, drink water. Period. Point blank. That's what we need, and that will help get rid of the lower back pain. And also, it makes you smarter too when you drink more water, because the brain is 85% water and the spine is the brain is 90% water and the spine is 85% water. So that's what you're gonna need.
Right. So, as I was saying, so we talked about law, we talked about religion. You have sex, of course. The book to get is Jewel in the Lotus. All right, by Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati, our personal teacher, who taught us for 9 years. 3 years specifically, we sat under him every week and studied and learned from him. All right, but Jewel in the Lotus is the book you need in your library. If you don't have it, you fucked. Seriously. All right, you playing. If you don't got that book, you playing. I don't know what else to say, but you need that book. All right. Get Mantak Chia on book, Sexual Reflexology, cultivating the male energy as well as also cultivating the female or feminine energy. Books is a purple and a orange book. All right, get those books. Get any books by Mantak Chia. He has so many damn books now. You know what I'm saying? Look like he's getting ready to compete with Brother Polite. Because he got so many books. But get those books, right? Get any book by Hilton Otima, all right? Hilton Otima, all right? Because we're talking about education, which is one of the principles. But get this book here, Tai Chi Fa Lin, all right? Get this book, Advanced Techniques for Discharging Chi Energy, all right?
What was the first book you said first?
Tai Chi Fa Lin. Fa Jin.
That was the first one?
Yeah, Fa Jin. Tai Chi Fa Jin. Right? That's the first book. Get into Mopai.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Into Mopai.
Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all might have seen Fireman Jack. You know what I'm saying? They was calling him Jack, but if I show you his picture, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. All right. As a matter of fact, his name is John Chang. All right. You might have seen the video with John Chang actually taking fire from his hand and burning newspaper with his chi energy. This teaches you the science behind doing that.
Yes.
Into Mopai. All right.
Yep. That's why Bruce Lee was killed, because he came to Fayetteville, North Carolina, to the Coliseum with a whole bunch of melanated brothers and taught them the 1-inch punch. So they was not finna have that. In that book that Alim just talks about, it gives you applicable instructions and information where you can be practicing this stuff. A lot of people ask us about these Tai Chi and Qigong elders on YouTube, and is it real? Yes, that stuff is real.
All right, this is here, the immortal Li Jingyun. Now, who is he? He lived to be 256 years old. 256 years old. All right, and what did he do? He studied certain exercises of Qi Gong every day. And he was 90, and he said he learned these from a monk who was 500 years old. And he lived to be 256, outliving 24 wives.
Yeah.
And he didn't have them all at the same time.
No, he wasn't doing it like that.
Okay. Now,
he also took the herb Foti, which
right.
is deep, because when you go to our website and type in Foti, you'll see that under the ground, it grows like a male and a female.
Right.
Like you can see the head, you can see the arms, the body.
He took astragalus root, he took ginseng, he took maca root, well, not maca root, but equivalent to maca root, which would be Siberian, ginseng, and what else? He took, and I can't think of another herb right now, but he took these herbs, Foti, as my wife said, he took these herbs every single day. Every day. All right? Now, right here. The Light Origin of Reiki. All right. You need this book. All right. You need this book. The Light Origin of Reiki. Now, I got all these books back here, and I got to go through them.
3 stacks, y'all.
And this ain't nothing compared to what I have in the closet. My wife can bear witness to this, and I've read them all. So right here, this is
We
Reiki.
did save the books from the flood, okay?
Oh, hell yeah. If I ain't had to save nothing else, I saved them shits.
Now, if somebody tells you if that is spookology, then you tell them to explain. You just tell them to spell it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because how the hell can breath be spooky? Nigga, you doing this shit 25,900 times a day.
You better do it or you ain't going to be on this physical plane.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Y'all know how good it feel when your queen touch you. You see what I'm saying? When your God touch you.
As I always say, real seriously, it's real important. You can go without food for 40 days. You can go without water for about 2 weeks. But try to go without the breath for 3 minutes and see what happens. All right. So the most important aspect, because everybody's stuck on this diet, everybody's stuck on food. I can fast. I can do this.
And they ain't growing nothing. And these crackers are putting pig hormones in the tomatoes so they can import and export them a little easier, so they don't bust up. Exactly. You know what I mean? Come on, family. We got to do better than this.
Right here, the original Reiki handbook. All right, the original Reiki handbook of Dr. Mikao Ushi, who is the rediscoverer of Reiki. All right, here within, even though he came from out of Japan, here within the Western area is what it came from. Right here, the Hashashi Reiki manual. Right, the Hayashi Reiki manual, who was one of the students of Master Mikao Ushi. All right.
Oh, the next one is my favorite.
Herbally Yours. Herbally Yours. This teaches you the science of herbology.
And as you can see, it is loved. Now, in this book, they give you the different herbal combinations. Like, if you want to have your own herbal spot in your own area, it shows you like, okay, we just open up the migraines and headaches, which is also a symptom of dehydration. But you can, what's good for it is chamomile, helps prevent headaches. Fenugreek, flatulence and gas and stuff. Fenugreek is good for. Thyme, wood, bethany. All these can be combined into a tea. And then also it gives you like lobelia. It gives you the bold print ones, which are perfect for it. This is really a good book. Oh, I like this book. Then it also gives you formula for the prostate. Because brothers, y'all know y'all want y'all glands to be healthy, like black cohosh or cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, I love cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper saved Alim. And then ginger, golden seal is really good, but you don't want to take too much golden seal. But I mean, it's just a really good book. I know we got a lot to go through, but I really like this book.
Right here, The Magus of Java. This actually is the picture of John Chang, and it says the authentic, right here, the teachings of an authentic Taoist immortal. All right, for those who have studied John Chang, get on YouTube and look up John Chang. All right, and see him set newspapers on fire. All right, this is real.
19 seconds.
All right, right here. Rule by secrecy. All right, for those that like the quote unquote Illuminati stuff, this is one of the books I would recommend. Rule by secrecy. All right, Jim Mars. Right here. The Ninth Ether Re-engineering. The Ninth Ether Re-engineering. This is a good book. A lot of information in this book. You know what I'm saying? When you go through it, you will find in my book. All right, my book was written in 2009, but this book is still good. You know what I'm saying? Even though it got some of my info. You know, we got to tie all this stuff together. So this is a good book. Ninth Ether Re-engineering.
Brother Real Terminal?
Can you hear me?
Yes, God, we can hear you.
Yeah, I've been talking all the time, but I guess you haven't been hearing me.
We haven't.
I thought you had muted me out. So.
Because there was a lot of background noise.
But I think
Okay.
the blog talk is about to hang up, so I wanted to make sure that you got some vibrations in, and if you want, we can call you directly, on the phone if you want after.
10 seconds.
And right here, what happens after death? You want this. All right? She breaks it down. What happens after death? This is a good book. All right? Especially for those that's searching.
Blog Talk family, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all soon.
No doubt.
Love you.
Want me to call you guys?
No,
you want me to call you
he's
guys?
still going to be on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to go on for another hour. What time is it?
It is 1.
Okay.
It's my time.
Be on, yeah.
Okay, you'll
right
be on
here, the coming of the cosmic Christ. The coming of the cosmic Christ. The coming of the cosmic Christ. You need that. The Four Gospels esoterically interpreted by John P. Scott. The Four Gospels esoterically interpreted by John P. Scott. The Christ Conspiracy, the greatest story ever sold. The Christ Conspiracy, the greatest story ever sold. All right? You need that.
See, when you read these books, you can't be deceived. This is empowering you.
Right here, the Metronetra, Volume 1. Of course, you can get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But number 1 will always be.
I love you too. Love you with you. That's the truth. Paula, Terry, y'all over there.
Who that?
Who else for now?
What is he saying? I can't
What you
hear him.
What you say, God? I'm sorry.
No, they're doing a lot of hollering and talking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right here, Heritage.
Hold on, somebody.
I'm a mute you, God. Okay.
Yeah. Heritage Restored.
Yeah, they got me. Hold on for a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, Volume 1 and Volume 2. All right. Heritage Restored. Volume 1, Volume 2.
Ooh.
All right.
That's a good one.
These are some good books right here. And I'm showing you these books because this is part of the education process, because you've been hoodwinked, you've been bamboozled.
And that's how you can build a heritage.
Let it straight.
That's how you can build a heritage in your community. It's books out here that our ancestors, our brothers and sisters have written.
Right. Ethiopia
and
the origin of civilization. Right, by John G. Jackson. Light from Ancient Egypt by Naeem Akbar. And one of my favorites right here, What They Never Told You in History Class by Endokimic Kush. Another one of my favorites, The Secret of Regeneration by Hilton Otima.
Y'all, is this an overload? Let us know, because
I can keep going.
We want to make sure it's not an overload,
The Ancient Near Eastern Texts, or the Ancient Near East Texts.
Hold on, guys.
Historical Jesus and Mythical Christ. The Apocrypha. Ecstasy through Tantra. Ecstasy through Tantra.
What happens after death? Who's that
by McGillis. Who wrote the book Power of the Psalms. Right here.
This one? This one?
No. Put it back. This one? No. It's not it.
What you said, McGillis?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Miguel Whippler. Or is it Magine?
Yeah, Magine.
Magine.
Goddess, it was Magine. Yep, Magine Gobless Whippler. Yep.
The History of the Hidden Race. The Hidden History of the Human Race by Michael Creedmoor and Richard L. Thompson, who also wrote the book, which I always talk about, Forbidden Archaeology. The Children of Mu by James Churchward. The Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. The Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. All right? This is by Joseph Weed. And he'll get you high on that shit too. The Chakras and the Esoteric Healing. The Chakras and the Esoteric Healing. This is by Zachary Lansdowne. You have the Peopling of Earth. The Peopling of Earth. Matter of fact, I got to open this one. And I got to open these two because you can't see them because they don't have a front cover. This is The Children of Mu by James Churchward.
Talking about you.
Right. Remember, there was some spooky shit. I had to show this. With SETI in the debate, you know, because he was showing
which
the
he
covers.
did not win. SETI, you know you ain't dang gonna win. I can't even believe you keep on saying that.
Yeah, the Peopling
Cut it out.
of Earth. The Peopling of the Earth. The Peopling of the Earth. Yo, this is a good book. All right. It don't matter. People can say whatever. You know, this ain't about ego. This is about getting information.
You have a right. Everybody got a right to their own opinion.
Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth. The Power of Myth. Joseph Campbell. All right. The first major work to penetrate the mysteries of ancient settlers in the New World, America BC by Barry Fell. America BC by Barry Fell. Now, reason why this is important is because this is a Harvard graduate right here. All right, who spoke about America and spoke about you being here in the Americas. Okay, before the European. Right here.
Ancient
Bob Bride,
magic.
The Ancient Egyptian Magic. All right, this is for my occultists out there. If you ain't got this in your library, you done missed some shit. All right, the 12 Powers.
Oh, I love that one.
The 12 Powers, as well as also his other book. You know what I'm saying? This is on Charles Fillmore. His other book is the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. You need the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, and you need this book, The 12 Powers. All right? Right here, Hilton Otima. You need his book, which is called Man's Higher Consciousness. Hilton Otima, Man's Higher Consciousness. You need this book, right? This is for your children right here. Get them up on Malcolm X, all right? Afro-American History. Malcolm X wrote this book. This is one of the books that he wrote, all right? Matter of fact, one of the few books that he wrote. Right here.
Rest in peace, Taurus.
Indeed. El-Haj Malik El-Shabazz, also known as Omar Wali. Right here, Bible Myths.
This one got wet, y'all, but we still,
Nah.
You can't throw that one away.
Yeah, I ain't throwing this shit away. I'm sorry. Damn, mold and everything on this motherfucker. This motherfucker staying in the collection. All right, right here. Bible Myths. All right, you need this. This Bible Myths right here. This is by T.W. Dow. All right, and their parallel in other religions. Bible Myths and their parallels in other religions. This is the reason why I stated in the beginning of my religious breakdown on that information. All right, right now we're going over the educational breakdown, and these are some of the books that you need in order to get yourself from out of this goddamn predicament. Right here, The Breath, The Ancient Egyptian Order. This is Malachi York. I know some of y'all don't like this nigga, but I don't give a damn.
The message.
This information here, this shit here, you better get it. You better get it. All right?
The message.
Right. The message. Fuck the messenger. Get the message. That's what you got to learn how to do. Get the message. Right here, goddammit. This book right here, this is what I did my mathematical nigga on. When I was breaking down the frequency of the word nigga, this came from not this book, because my information came out around the same time, right after this book. All right. But right here, this word, it says right here, nigga, a divine origin. This is what I was telling everybody, that the word nigga is divine, is a divine origin. But yet they tell you, oh, you shouldn't use the word nigga. It's just so, oh, you shouldn't use it. There's a problem with, you shouldn't be using that word. And this is the problem. Instead of going back to the source, but yet you get Nigerians, you get Nigers from the river Niger.
I'm not a nigger, I'm a niggerah.
Right. So
okay.
So
Niger means the king continent. Nigeria means the queen continent of Africa. Get out of here. Nigu, Naga means king and queen. Period. They don't want you saying that because it comes from guru. It starts tapping into your genetic memory.
Harish Johari, Breath, Mind, and Consciousness. And goddamn, this book right here is phenomenal. This book right here, phenomenal. You ain't got it, get it. All right, get it. Right here. All right, this is Conversations and Phrase Book, English to Metru Nature. All right, English to Metru Nature. All right, there we go. Much better. I don't know
what is this saying?
English to Metru Nature. All right, Conversation and Phrase Book, English to Metru Nature. This is by Brother Rocco Hudi Ahmed.
Who wrote Ancient Egyptian Magic?
Bob Bry. B-R-I-E-R. Bob Breyer. Breyer. All right, we just got a few left, but I got to give it to you. I'm doing a Bobby Hemmett number tonight, goddammit. All right. Right here, Kundalini and Chakras. Kundalini and Chakras. This is written by Genevieve Paulson, Louis Paulson. All right, right here, Kundalini and the Chakras. All right, you need this. Right here, practical guide. You need the science of the breath. Science of the breath. Right, and a lot of these we have on our website, you know, in PDF forms. If not, you know where you need to go: Amazon, eBay, have.com. All right, right
I'll
here.
give y'all the link for the PDFs, so y'all can support us if y'all want to. However, like the guy said, Amazon.
Right. We would love to be able to do something with the funds.
Oh, and we definitely will.
The only thing we're gonna do is build. That's all we do. You know, I can't ride around in just fancy cars and shit.
I can't be renting nothing. I got to own it, and
right.
It's just too much work to do.
Right here, self-healing, power, and therapy. All right. Once again, self-healing, power, and therapy. The old teachers from Africa. What? The old teachers from Africa? Yeah, everyone want to be an African. But yet don't know the damn self, but don't know self-healing. But don't know self-healing. How can you say that you, oh nigga, I love ancient Africa information. I'm an African, but then don't know no science of self-healing from the old African traditions. Stop playing, Negroes.
Give yourself at least 5 minutes to do some Tai Chi and Qigong.
Right here, Why Darkness Matters. All right, this is by The Power of Melanin in the Brain. Why Darkness Matters. The Power of Melanin in the Brain. You got to have this. This is by Edward Bruce Bynum, Anne Brown, who we know Bruce Bynum. We also knew Richard King and Tim Owen Moore, who you will see on our upcoming project of Blow, is in this book. All right, and he blows that shit up on our video too. So everybody, all interested in seeing Hidden Color 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Well, when this one come out, goddamn it, is on and cracking. All right, right here, the Egyptian language. This is by, as we see, E.A. Wallace Budge. All right, Egyptian language. All right. Also, Gerald Massey lectures. One of my favorites. This is why it's all wrinkled the hell up, because I was carrying this everywhere. This was it was my Bible at one time. All right? And it was also my Bible, goddammit. This one I was telling you about. Jewel in the Lotus. My teacher, Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati. Jewel in the Lotus. The Tantric Path to Higher Consciousness. 3rd edition. This is one of the best right here. Jewel in the Lotus. All right? Jewel in the Lotus. All right? You just got a few more. God damn it. Just hold on with it. Just bear with it. We got to get it to you. All right? The Teachings of Ptah, the oldest book in the world. Do you want to know where the books come from? All these Bibles and Qurans? Well, you might have to go back to here, the oldest book in the world. All right? Also, the mysterious origins of hybrid men. The mysterious origin of hybrid men. We know that Africans are not hybrids. This has already been confessed by
Chinese scientists,
by Europeans and Chinese scientists, that everybody else outside of the African traditions, all the ones who are what? Hybrids. So the various hybrids come from where and from what?
From the original.
From here, this goes on into the information. You can watch some of that.
That's why the originals need to be producing original food, because the hybrids are producing hybrid food and we're eating it. That's why they're producing hybrid cars. So it's just so important for us to be adding on.
The Suppressed History of America. The Suppressed History of America. Interesting book here. The Suppressed History of America. Freemasonry, Ancient Egypt, and the Islamic Destiny. All right? By Mustafa El-Amin.
Yeah, what is people so angry about the Freemasonry? That's our information.
Well, they've been listening to too much damn Illuminati shit.
Yes.
All right.
Shoot, Georgie James died for us to get that information to us. They slit his throat and pulled his tongue through his throat for stolen legacy.
Marcus Garvey was a Freemason. All right.
Noble Drew
Lee was a Freemason.
Georgie James, who died for us.
George G. James was a Freemason. Malcolm, Elijah Muhammad, Khalid Muhammad, all right. All our great Farrakhan, all of our great scholars and leaders were Freemasons. Dr. Ben, was an international Mason and part of the Shrine. All right. And also a Muslim, because in his later years, he converted to Islam. This is why he gave his collection to the Nation of Islam, his book collection, all right? But he also had a PhD in what? Moorish history from where? Barcelona, the University of Barcelona in Spain, all right? So we have to understand that all of our teachers were Masonic or had some degree of Masonry, not to be following up under that Illuminati shit that you hear from the white boys as they try to go over, and then don't never tell you that it ain't talking about you. In other words, they ain't talking about those who are melanated, because in their secret society, their whole thing is about worshiping you, but also holding you down at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a known fact that within the shrine of the European Albions, white boys, as they say, they are the ones in which that specifically states that this is your father. However, your mission is to never allow for them to rise again.
And when we went over to the Grand Lodge in London, because the melanated people over there in London brought us over there because of YouTube. So Sadnetta only did give us $800. He didn't know it was going to be that big, because remember, it was the first time.
But that
got us a trip to London. So shout out to Darren.
That was after. And the trip to London was before that debate even happened.
We
was already having that debate.
Because somebody had put Arlene's video up there.
That was 2009. I already had over 3 million hits on my Holy Orgasm.
Yeah.
All right, let's get that shit straight. I had over 3 million hits on Holy Orgasm. All right. And
on somebody else's page, because
right.
we didn't have a YouTube page. You have to build slow. So some people are like, why y'all ain't got no subscribers and why y'all ain't got no hits? Well, for number one, what we deal with, this path is not widely chosen. This is the Srata Mukta King. It's not widely chosen, this path, because people don't feel like they can be God. They don't feel like they can be better, and they don't want to be, because they, you know, they doing all sorts of stuff, you know. But anyway, when we went to London to the Grand Lodge, the Caucasian let us in, and he was like, "They told you that? How did y'all know that?" Because we were revealing our history, and they were shocked that we knew, because we were supposed to be oblivious to our history.
Right, and this is what he said. My wife got us in because the two brothers who brought us over there, they went in, and they would not let them in. But I saw that they honored the women. There was women Masons. So I told my wife to go in and say, look, say that you traveled a long way, that you traveled, you know, because, you know, they love, you know, the traveling shit. All right. So my wife went in and said, look, I traveled a long way. I came from North Carolina. I would like to see what your establishment have. Next thing we know, my wife comes out and say, come on. All right. And so all of us go run up in it like, yo, she got us in this piece.
Oh my God.
So they was having a meeting, and Masons was coming from everywhere, dressed in their tux.
They were going to incorporate women, and they were also going to incorporate the melanated Masons. That's what they were meeting about, and family. We even got a DVD of this, because we even had a Taurus with us, which I was so glad, because Darren's goddess is a Taurus, and she was able to see details that we were all whimsically looking over. And she was like, do you see that teeny weeny embossing of an afro and a big lip and big nose, brother? We was like, what? And it was there. It was on everything. It was on every sword. It was on every plate. It was on every apron. A teeny weeny small little African brother.
Right. Now when we got in, the curator of the museum portion in the library, he was following us, trying to see, you know, what we knew, because my wife was able to get us in there and everything. So he comes up and he said, how you feel about the possibility of your first Black president? All right. And so my wife looked, you know, me, Darren, and brother Solomon, we looked at each other, was like, you know, we was laughing like, okay, I know he just asked us that. And before we can even look at my wife, she already spilled the beans. She said, this is more than 9 of them before him.
I was like, as a matter of fact, Barack Obama is the 9th.
Right.
He was like, how do you know that?
He said, who's supposed to know that? He said, who told you that? He jumped back like Mike Tyson. He jumped back like Mike Tyson, decked him in his face, and his hands was shaking like this. Who told you that? You're not supposed to know that. Did they tell you that? And so we was like, yo, who the fuck is the they? Well, we know that they are. He talking about his European albino or Albion Brotherhood over here of the Masonic Club, and that they told us these secrets. Did they tell us these secrets? Did they tell you who you were? And so he goes from Obama possibly being the next president, which we already knew he was going to be, because that was the next day or so he was going to be the president. And over in England, they had just as many damn pictures up of him as we did here in the States. All right. So we already knew he was going to win that shit, because worldwide people was voting, putting forth energies for him to win, you know? So we already knew he was going to win. We told people that. I told people on the radio show, everybody, that he had that already. All right, and wasn't even following it. We could just tell from the vibrations of the world, you know, that it was time. And plus, they needed somebody melanated in it before 2012. All right, because they didn't know what the fuck was going to happen with that Mayan Olmec calendar, or that Olmec Mayan calendar. They didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. So they said, look, we better put a melanated person up in here. And what happened? If you go and look at the oral statements and prophecies of Prophet Noble Ali, you know, coming from out of, you know, what is it? The Moore Science Temple of America Incorporated, up under Charles Kirkman Bey, who's now over, you know, R. Jones. You know what I'm saying? It's in the prophecies that it states that if the European is righteous, that they would make or have a Asiatic president and a European vice president. So that prophecy came true. You know what I'm saying? That came true. No doubt about it. You know, came true. So right here, sacred mysteries among the Mayans and the Quiche. Right, very powerful book. This is by Augustine Lepontion. All right, powerful book right here. And the last two that I'm gonna show for tonight,
before we do our ritual,
right, is here is ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics for beginners. Right, this is by Muata Ashby. All right, and also the Serpent Power by Muata Ashby. Now I got thousands of more books left, but I can't show all of those to you. But I gave you a good starting point for those that are really interested in really studying. That's if you read books any longer. Everybody want to go to goddamn Wikipedia, you know. And so now Wikipedia becomes the master of this shit.
Well, what it is everybody wants to listen to somebody else regurgitate it, but you just have to just be careful who you listening to regurgitate the books. That's just the thing,
right? Because we talking about some of them off the wall answers, you know, that you might just get. You know, you might just get some of them off the wall joints, and some of that shit just doesn't make sense. And then you come back to myself or Brother Panic or Baba Phil Valentine and have to ask us, you know, yo, is this true? You know, what's accurate, what's not accurate.
But when you do read it yourself, you already know what's true and what's accurate. You know,
right.
It just clicks.
All right, so right now we're gonna get into our ceremony, our ritual before we end tonight.
Okay,
discussion. Of course, if you got any questions, you know, ask now, forever hold your peace. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
You know.
So let's see how it looks with the lights off. Okay, so we are going to turn off the lights, but you do want to light your sage and cleanse the air, you know, of lower vibrations and negative energy. I love this stuff. Tove, I don't smoke no more, so this is perfect, girl. Because it smells just like it. Okay, so you just want to make sure you do that. And see, another thing that you can do, you can like make words with your sage, like money or love. You know what I mean? You could draw vades in the air with the smoke. A burnt offering is the most powerful offering. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of air going on. So we got the sage. And then we also got the incense.
And of course, you can sage a person.
Yeah. Thank you. And do this with your children, you know. Do this with your children because they are definitely on the team. Thank you.
All right. She's sage.
I'm sage. Me. Okay, I'm a sage Alim too, real quick. You want to get in every crack and crevice as best you can. It is so many rituals that you can do with smoke, you know, whether it's sage smoke or other different herbs like peppermint smokes really, really good. Ooh, it smells so good. Spearmint does too. Cedar. It's so many different wands that you can make, and I do make them. Okay, so I'm going to now put it out. So it really goes a long way. We sell a bag of this for $3.
Which is loose sage.
Yeah,
you also have the bundle sage.
The wand sage.
The wand sage, right.
Okay, then also family, together, let us light our incense. The whole power in a group ritual is doing things together, okay? So we don't want to blow it out because it's disrespectful to the ancestors, some people say. So I shook it. And then you want to hold your candle and you want to put your intention into it.
Now, understand that in candle magic, everything that you touch has an auric residue in which that leaves or lives which is left behind on that item. All right. So, for example, when you're touching the candle, there is an auric. That means an actual thought impression that is left upon the candle, in which that the candle burns based on that thought impression. All right. Now, some of y'all just some spooky shit. However, our ancestors have been doing this, and guess what? The Catholic Church does it and rule the fucking world. All right. Every time you go to a Catholic church, they burn in hundreds of goddamn candles.
Santorian.
All right.
Yeah.
And they run the world.
Yeah.
All right. Matter of fact, the word Catholic means universal church. So you can say that it's some spooky shit all you want, but that's because you don't have no understanding, overstanding, or understanding. So take your spooky ass somewhere else. All right.
Yeah. If this is not for you, that's okay. If you leave, that's fine with us. But we want to connect with those who know the power that lies within them.
Understand this. All right. That's who we trying to get to.
Okay. So then you can take a favorite oil and then you anoint the candle with it.
Right. Now, of course, if your candle comes out, you can anoint it, with the oil.
Or you can do it directly outside.
Right.
So you want to rub it down.
Now, of course, this oil can be coconut.
So sensual.
Now, this can be coconut oil. This can be olive oil. It can be High John the Conquering oil. It can be rosemary oil. It can be any type of oil which that helps with. It can be frankincense and myrrh oil. All right. So now that the candle has been anointed,
I'm
symbolically to your pineal gland being anointed, because your pineal gland produces DMT and pinoline, and hence once that fiction is done, now it's time for the lighting of it. So really, this external process is really symbolic to an internal process. All right.
Okay. Now this is just to cleanse our third eye so we can see clearly. And I'm going to turn off the light. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Garb yourselves, family, with a golden light. Visualize yourself standing in front of a sun.
Or as you see on the flame here, just visualize that.
You visualize yourself standing in front of the beautiful, garbing your whole entire body with a vibration of love and prosperity from your head to your toes, and from your toes on up to your Christ seat, your crown chakra. We just want to be thankful right now for our feet. Thank you so much, feet, for carrying me throughout the day, on every day. You lift me. You hold me up. Thank you so much, ankles. Thank you so much, bones, for giving us the structure to hold up our skin and our physical frame. I want to thank you, vagina, for utilizing the bathroom, for everything I drink you release from me. Kidneys, thank you so much for filtering the poisons out so that they leave my body instead of staying in. Thank you so much, spine, for holding my back up so I can be straight and upright. Thank you, stomach, for digesting the food that we know these Caucasians done made to give us ailments, but you still digested and release these negative energy out of my body. It doesn't stay. Thank you so much, stomach. Thank you so much, teeth, for chewing up the food in tiny particles so that my body can digest it properly. Intestines, I cannot forget to thank you. You are 18 feet long, and every ounce of it gets cleaned out with every bowel movement. Anus, thank you so much for releasing, and also showing me when I'm worried about money with constipation. Thank you so much for teaching me the truth through my physical body. Growling, stomach, thank you so much for talking to me when my ancestors are present. Third eye and physical eyes, thank you so much for seeing in the physical plane and the spiritual, being in the right place at the right time. Nose, thank you so much for filtrating the chemtrails and the oxygen and taking it to my lungs, in which my lungs know exactly what to do so that I can breathe even through the midst of all this smog and chemicals that are being deliberately dropped on us. Thank you so much for filtering out the poisons out of my body, lungs. I need you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you, throat, for swallowing. Thank you, ears, for hearing. Thank you, brain, for thinking and connecting me to the universal divine in all of us. So right now, we just want to visualize a gold energy just swirling from our feet, slowly up our bodies. We want to slow down our breathing to 6-3-6 so we can all be on the same vibration. So for those of y'all who don't know that, it is 6 breathing in, 6. Holding it for 3. And exhaling 6. That is the breathing frequency that we are all in connection on today. Thank you so much for joining in this ritual for growth and prosperity, for this new vibration, this 2017. This vibration of a 1 where we stand on a foundation that is balanced, that is stronger, because we build together. We have building on our mind, and that is what we have in common to do for the next generation. And that is the most powerful vibration, the knowledge of a stronger foundation. Ashe, family.
Ashe.
I visualize a gold light around our physical body up and swirl into the entire room that we are in. This gold is resonating a vibration that is of abundance, that is of prosperity, that is of healing, all that which is good. Getting into every crack and crevice in the very room that you are in, spiraling out, expanding your auric field, spiraling all out into the entire home, healing everyone who's in your home. Spiraling, this vibration is still spiraling on out into the outside of your home, all up and down through the driveway and through the parking lot, on up and down through the neighborhood, the apartment complex, on up and down through the entire state republic. This green and gold light have blended for love, because it's love that's needed in the ghettos. It's love that is needed on these streets. So this vibration of love and protection and prosperity and foundation that is strong is being built on today, with the unification of all of us in the oneness of thoughts. Family, ancestors, as they move in our bloodline, we resonate this gold vibration all throughout the city, the territory, all throughout the entire state republic, because this love vibration is needed. We resonating it all through France, family, all through California, all through New Jersey, all through North Carolina. It is in every area of this world. This vibrating gold light of love and healing. Moving on into the universe, on up into the mother. And all that which was positive, may we inhale. All that which was negative, may the universal mother and father convert into positive vibrations. Ashe, family, we need you in your higher nature. Ashe, family, we need you in building mode.
Ashe.
Ashe, family, we need you in love with your seeds.
Ashe.
Ashe, family.
Ashe.
Alim, you want to add on?
Ashe. I believe she said it all. All I would say is because she said genitals and she said the vagina, so I would have to say the phallus for the brothers, the penis. Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself wise in your actions, your deeds, your behaviors. And I say Ashe.
Y'all, thank y'all so much for coming in and building with us. I wish that I could hear y'all too, you know what I mean? But we can. March the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Right.
That way y'all can be able to get inspired. You'll be able to see my uncle's winery and also his grape vineyard, where he has 5 acres of muscadine grapes and scuskadine. So that's the black grapes and then the yellow grapes. And greenish, brownish yellow.
Right.
And then you'll also be able to see, because everybody on the street is family. And then you'll also be able to be on our land. We got 28 acres and I want to play drums on the land. I want y'all to see it, you know? I want y'all to be there and put y'all energy in it so we can make it better. Because we already have a healing retreat space. But I want another one that's more professional. That's just perfect. So once you've done it once, you can do it again, you know? But I wish that we had the sisters. I really would have wish I could hear Sister Maui Netter, and then also too Sister Toba, and then Sister Black Mamba, and Sister Sci-Fi Living. I really love the vibrations of the sisters. You know what I mean? Because we are the ones that birth things to this physical plane, and I'm just so grateful that y'all all just came in here with us. You know, yeah, this is definitely gonna be posted, Dre. Oh, you are so welcome, Pineal Magic. You know, we all bonded today. You are so welcome, Sir Noble. You are so welcome. Thank y'all. You know, thank y'all. Because if it wasn't for y'all, you know, what good would this information be if you can't give it to somebody who wants it? You know, have you ever tried to tell somebody something that don't want to hear it? You know, so it's so mutual. And that's how it should be. It should be a mutual appreciation, you know? But I'm going to stop talking. I don't want to leave y'all.
Is Brother L still on?
I'm gonna see if Brother L want to say anything, because y'all know he got people shooting around his house. Brother L, we about to get off. Are you there? Peace, God. You want to say anything? You want to say anything, God?
Yes, I just want to ask a question. Alim said something about when you turn in your driver's license. Well, I don't have a driver's license, but I have a state ID. So when I turn that in too, also in good standing, when I want to travel?
Great question. I would say you surrender your driver's license and you keep your state ID. On your state ID,
okay.
Because that's what I do. If I get pulled over, we have Argon minis, which when we get pulled over, which we haven't got pulled over in a long time, it dispels negative energy. And I noticed that when we were getting pulled over, the police were saying stuff like, you know, your stoplight, you know, your tail light is out. We'd be like, oh, thank you. We know. They'd be like, okay, well, have a good day. You see what I'm saying? It will be a whole different vibration. So I know the Argon energy works because we have them under our seat. However, the driver's license contract is a adhesion contract in which the state ID does not have the same adhesion to it. So I would say definitely reserve your rights when you autograph that state ID. You put all rights reserved in your name. So you write your name and then big, and then you write all rights reserved in your name, smaller though, smaller. And then right. And then and I would say your state ID, I don't see nothing wrong with having a state ID. We cannot be all or nothing until we are building more. So we are, you know, providing food, clothing, and shelter for ourselves. And electricity. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand this all or nothing thing. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Okay. It does. Like you say that attach the get the when you send the you talking about turning your driver's license and then get a document for that and then attach it to your right to travel papers.
Right, it's called a surrenderance form.
Right, the
DMV.
About 5 people.
Right, but the DMV gives you a form in which that is called a surrenderance letter. Once you turn in your driver's license, all right. My wife.
Have a driver's license.
Right. Well, you don't have one, so you don't have to worry about that then, Brother L. Now, if you do get a driver's license, then you can actually just have a right to travel, in which that you will have to send out notices to all those agencies, like we said earlier, but you would still want a letter from the DMV in which that states that you never had a contract with them. And you also want to get that authenticated at the Secretary of State building, you know, your right to travel authenticated at the Secretary of State building to be put on a do not detain list.
Okay. And at the United States Secretary of State, like John Kerry?
No, his under office, right, would be a state.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Missouri State?
Right. You would go to Missouri State. Right, exactly. Right there in St. Louis.
Okay, I got you.
Right. The Secretary of State building right there in St. Louis. That's where you would go.
All right, I got you.
Right, because St. Louis is the capital, right?
No, St. Louis is the city.
It's the city.
Jefferson City is the capital.
Jefferson City, right. So you would have to go to Jefferson City then, Brother L.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you would go to the Secretary of State building, document authenticated there. And, you know, once you get it there, then you're good, you know. That's just excellent. And you straight.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so you're saying I got to go there personally?
Well, you can, or either you can call them and tell them that you're faxing over your documents so that they can be authenticated and you want to pay with your credit card over line.
Okay.
Right. However you want to do it,
all right,
it's fine.
All right.
All right.
I think I got it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you all for all that wisdom that you laid down for us all tonight, for the family.
All right.
I really appreciate that.
Appreciate
I
y'all.
really needed that.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, God and Goddess.
We appreciate you too, God. You always be there when we need you.
Indeed.
We just love you. But if there's no questions or comments, we just appreciate y'all too. And we'll see y'all next time. We'll try to do this more often.
No doubt. Well, we had to get it in. Brother L, this was his concept. He said, yo, let's do that tomorrow night, you know, which he was talking about basically tonight. So I said, yeah, that is a good thought. Instead of doing it on Wednesday, why don't we just wait till
we bring the new year in with everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
You know? So thank you, Brother L, for that confirmation.
Listening to the spirit over there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace and love.
Peace and
France
love. We
to
love
New
y'all.
Jersey to Cali, and everybody in between.
No doubt. We love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. You know, thank y'all for getting the word out, you know, about the information and everything. And anybody who have any questions, y'all know y'all can hit me up at Dr. Alim, El-Bey.com at the website, or either at my Gmail, dralimlbey@gmail.com, or either you can hit us up at royalhouse777@gmail.com. If you got any questions, if any information that you need, anything, you know, just hit us up. All right. We love y'all and we out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.